Hello, this is Russell from
Tones of Evil.
and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend Gigi Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, host of a Totally Turtle Sports and Gaming YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Wakanda Forever!
In the words of the great Todd Hulking.
Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, remember? Somebody brought there.
Yeah. Wow.
Such rich history.
Well, I wonder what we're covering today, kids. That's right. It's the Black Panther Wakanda Forever review. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, from the prison library, it is...
Charlie, the Professor Essa.
And coming to you from the... under the cover of whatever, not wanting to admit a Marvel movie was good, it is...
I can tell you what kind of Steve. It's Will Cook and Hellfire. What's up?
I know.
It's no Archie film, but you know.
I tear those apart too.
It's hard to capture what the magic is.
My little ray of sunshine.
Celluloid from cellulose.
Whoa. Alright, so... Yes.
Cellulose is referencing the paper.
Yeah. All right, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Did I see that this movie, is it on track to do like the second best opening of the year?
Well, it's not hard to do these days, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I will not damn with faint praise. This is a really good film. This could come out at any time, and it is going to be a hit. This is amazingly acted with a beautiful story. One that has to, you know, navigate the difficulties of the real world, but that, you know, I honestly feel handled it better, or not better, but handled it well. You know,
better than expected, for sure.
Yeah, and I just really feel that it came out swinging. It gave us, I mean, it is such an amazing arc for our characters, because this is an ensemble piece.
I just felt like Courtney B. Vance told Angela Bassett, if you don't know, those two are married. He's like, babe, rent is due. You gotta do what you gotta do. And she delivered.
I mean,
she's my favorite part of the movie. I think she was really good.
Oh, she's great.
I think she was great in that. I don't know.
He's like, that Tony money just ain't hitting like it used to.
Well,
thank God she got this Disney check.
Hey, for real though, she earned it, you know. And I mean, I'm gonna say it. I will be mad if there's not some Oscar bait for this, you know. Angela Bassett definitely. But my biggest question is: do you submit her for best supporting or best actress?
Best supporting, technically, is what it would be from everything that I figured out.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree because. I'm blanking on her name, the woman who plays Shiri, because that's not Lupita Nyong'o.
Letitia Wright.
Yeah, Letitia Wright. Letitia Wright is
I like her Black Panther, actually.
No, she's great.
I was surprised.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I actually had confidence in her. You know,
I thought they were going to go the M'Baku route. Looks like the next movie we might do that, so that's why I was kind of like, I wasn't sure how much they were going to be able to do, because everybody loves Winston. Winston has been killing it since the last Black Panther, so that was like the easy route to lean into, and I'm glad that they didn't go that route.
Well, no. I wonder if by that spoilers by that mid-credit scene, if we're just killing 8 to 10 years.
Well, yeah,
we don't necessarily have to. We can always have a time skip. Doesn't have
yeah. But Well, but then when you're in a shared universe, Lilith, then you gotta jump everybody.
Well, they gotta wait for the X-Men. That's the way I see it. They're like, yeah, we're gonna wait for him to be old enough to marry Storm, and
yeah. Well, I mean, she could be picking pockets on the streets of Cairo even as we speak. So
exactly.
What I will say, I mean, what I liked about, I mean, I don't know if we want to just spoil it, because the ending is great, and I think M'Baku is set up to be, well, we know what he is. He is now.
It's going to be interesting, because if he does win the throne, it's going to be like I think it's allegedly like the first time where the king wasn't, or the reigning monarch wasn't the Black Panther, and I think that would be super interesting to do.
Exactly, and I really want to see how he approaches the world. I think that becomes its own microcosm of an interesting aspect of how M'Baku, the gorilla tribe, the Jabari, really change the spirit of Wakanda.
It's giving Lion King. It's giving Lion King 1.5, perhaps. I don't know. One of the Lion King movies, that's what it's giving.
Mm-hmm. And, it's just... So, anyway, do we want to, break down the film? Do we want to talk about our favorite parts? Do we want to just talk about Namor? Not a fan of Namor. Okay.
I mean, no, it's fine.
I think that
it's fine.
I think the gentleman was a good actor, and what they gave him, he acted well. But this wasn't comic book Namor. He wasn't petty enough. He wasn't.
That's okay. And I'm really, I'm just gonna be petty. I'm gonna let y'all know. I was shipping him and Shuri instantly. I was like, enemies to lovers. Yes.
And honestly, I would not be surprised if we don't revisit that.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
hoping so.
I don't know. You kill somebody's spoilers. You kill somebody's mother, man. That kind of puts the damper on the romance,
Let's be honest. Shuri and the Queen weren't really on the best of terms.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't know. Maybe it was a favor. Who knows?
There's a lot of passion. Let me put it this way. It may not be, so here's what I'll say. Shuri and Namor may not be a couple, but you definitely got that Sue Storm, Namor vibe there, where it's like, there's so much I hate about you, but...
It's a thin line between love and hate.
Dang those Speedos.
There's already people online putting a picture of him next to Krasinski's Reed Richards saying, Sue, Reed's definitely losing Sue in the MCU.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, so I enjoyed the new origin of the Atlanteans, in the sense I'm glad it wasn't tied into the deviant seeking Lemuria and Atlantis, because first off, I think that we didn't do enough with the deviants in Eternals to warrant it.
Well, are we kind of staying away from it? Is everyone else staying away from Eternals as much as they can?
Well, I don't think they necessarily want to. I just think that that's always the thing, that the more historical super beings you enter into the story, the more complex it gets.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I found most fascinating about this is how really stagnated the people of Talokan were. That, Wakanda is, especially because it is Wakanda, it is in the middle of colonizers. They are always moving, advancing, and, defeating people as need be without revealing their secret, and as such, jumping their technological advantage time and time again. Talokan has basically been living underwater with, Bronze Age technology as their entire peak performance. They have the rebreathers and they have stuff like that, but at a certain point you got to go I'm not sure they're advancing as well as a society living on vibranium on a vibranium mound should be.
Yeah, but is it just that you advance as much as you have to? Like the Wakandans became the most technological society on Earth because they had to. The Telekans, they're just like, we'll just hit you with a giant killer whale. You come at us.
Yeah, and that works to a point.
Yeah. Well, it seemed to work pretty good against everybody they went up against in this movie.
We got real close to extincting a lot of whales on this planet just
That's okay. Star Trek. We'll just do the Star Trek thing. We'll bring it back from the
Go
past.
back in time, yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, we didn't, thankfully. Fortunately, they became no longer as profitable to eat and to kill. You know, and that's...
We shut down some SeaWorld.
Really, whales, man, you know. We will, you know, when the oil was wonderful, when the oil was something we could use, we would have completely devoured them. But then we found carbon fuels and saved
Thanks,
the
dinosaurs.
Yes, well, you know. But I mean, that's literally it. You know, it's like, so why should we go out on a ship to kill whales? We can just dig this oil out of the ground. You know, make kerosene that way. There we go, lamps. So I just feel like and again, it's not like they can't have technology, because they clearly have a glowing orb in their city, but we never see them doing anything which also makes me wonder if they don't have as much vibranium as Wakanda. Like, they have enough for some armor and some weapons, but even we see their armor is not full body armor. You know, it's basically...
I was like, they should have just gave them adamantium and called it a day, but not yet. Not yet.
No, because they're saving stuff like that, especially now that they have it back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just like, oh, adamantium versus vibranium. Finally, the nerds will go crazy.
Well, this is what... This is the thing. Like, the whole, we have to kill the scientist because she found a way to find vibranium. It's like, yeah, but now we know we can find vibranium. She's not the only super genius in the universe. And really, honestly, she was a kid who did this as a class project. Now that people know, oh, there's a way to do it. Because I'm sure someone wrote down, okay, here's all the pieces. And, you know, especially the professor that freaking sold it, MIT, when they sold it to the CIA, because it was their property by law. You sound a little thing when you go to work at MIT, or you go to school at MIT. So MIT sold it to the CIA, knowing all the pieces. They may not know how they all fit together, but now they know the pieces. They could build another one if they had to, and it's just trial and error to make it work. So, you know, once you drop the ray gun, it's a fair fight. You know,
yeah.
Unless you're trying to get back to the moon.
So to pull the Charlie Esser. So to pull the Charlie Esser quotes, so the Talocons were just like pulling the old Bill Bixby. Have we tried killing them yet?
Well,
I mean, when in doubt, sometimes violence does solve a few problems. I'm just gonna keep it real.
No,
it does.
The Talocanians, I don't know. The people of Talocon were stupid. They were the dumbest supervillains ever.
They're isolationists. That's what it is, you know.
Well, it's great if you want to stay an isolationist, but like, so here's the basic premise. For the last 200 years, they have been training this army, which immediately raises the question, who the heck have they been fighting for the past 200 years?
There's other kingdoms in the ocean, so...
Yeah, you mentioned Lemuria.
Well, not that we know of, but yeah, I guess that's the implication here. I mean, I'm waiting for Atuma to really break off with his people. Like, maybe there is some kind of unity, but that there is, you know, squabbles amongst the tribes.
Not to be that person, their interpersonal things are very similar to Aquaman's situation, where they have to have Congress amongst all the little faction kingdoms. And they'll probably get into that in his own movie. So
it's not a Tuma.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
It's not a Tuma.
It's not a Tuma?
Yeah.
What is?
It's a tuna.
Oh.
No, I mean honestly, Atuma being kind of bad, and actually that they are making Namora kind of why are we making peace with these people? We've been living our whole lives with you telling us we're going to go to war with these people, and now you're going to do this because
it's giving Samson and Delilah biblical prejudice, but whatever.
but the whole thing is at the end of the day, okay, they killed some Americans. Then they threaten Wakanda. And the assumption that Wakanda will be their ally just because they also have vibranium is a big assumption. And the idea that, you know, all the nations of the world are not going to come down on these, you know,
at one time,
people with you know, spear technology. Yes, they have mind control technology that can be blocked with earplugs.
Hell,
that is the thing.
Hell, we'll just cause a oil spill in over your kingdom, you know.
Yeah, I mean, really, and that is one of the things. It's like, you know, Namor as an attack, and maybe that's what we're going to get now, is that Namor is not going to be able to remain hidden anymore. Because that's the thing, is the CIA already knows there's something else out there. Val knows. Val was listening to all the conversations, you know, and, you know, Val knowing what's going on, that bodes ill. And, you know, I love this scene when her and Ross are talking, and he's like, could you imagine what we would be doing if we were the only country with vibranium? And she's like, oh, I dream about that.
Every night.
Val is my favorite. Val is a villain of, she is, and you know, and that's the thing, I don't think Val is a villain.
She's Amanda Waller.
She's Amanda Waller.
Well,
but Amanda Waller's just Nick Fury, you know? And that's the thing. It's
they
like
all
none
are.
of these. Yeah, well, exactly. But everyone wants to make Nick Fury a hero. It's like, no, they're all killing people. People get mad at them because they're women doing it. That's what I will say. Can you go out on that limb there? That Val, Amanda Waller, they're all just Nick Fury.
Who's mad at that? First of all, who's mad at Amanda Waller? Nobody's mad at Amanda Waller. Sometimes she just sucks at her job like everybody else.
Well, yeah. Well, Amanda,
it's a hit or miss thing with her plans. Sometimes they work really well, and sometimes they literally blow up a whole universe. You know.
Talk about how we tried killing them yet.
Or, you know, put him underwater in a medical-induced coma, whatever.
Well, no, I mean, if we get Val here, I mean, are we going to get like a Thunderbolts versus Namor or something?
Well, aren't we? Well, I mean, they're trying to do something.
We're getting Thunderbolts, right? So I'm just saying, is Namor going to show up there?
Yeah, you know, I wonder if Abomination can breathe underwater. That's going to be interesting. Say, oh, you want me to get you some vibranium? Okay, you know. Because that would be interesting. Just send in an Abomination. I'm very calm now. I don't mean to. I would love to say. I don't mean to cause problems with you. I do understand the cultural relevance of us coming for your vibranium. All we want to do is work out a fair trade.
That John Walker's standing there going, just effing hit him already.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing. But, you know, that is also where it gets to be this complexity, because the fair trade of highly precious metals in limited quantity can be a boon for any nation, especially if you already have people like Tony Stark and Shuri finding ways to synthesize vibranium, you know, finding ways to create new elements that can do what vibranium does for other purposes. So that's an open question that you have to answer, and you have to realize in the progress of civilization.
Well, we can 3D print those herbs now, so.
Yeah, man, which is interesting. I do wonder how much that's going to be a concern. I mean, we see them growing them, but, you know, do they have
GMOs,
to?
man, GMOs. We all know how that goes.
Well, I do think and that, of course, is what's interesting about when Shuri takes the potion and she goes to the land of the ancestors, and guess who's the ancestor she meets?
Her cousin, her shifty cousin.
Well, but you know, it was what she had to learn. It was what she had to face within herself, and she didn't want to face it in herself. She didn't want to say, she wanted to say, I am not Killmonger. I am not vengeance. I am not the knight. I am just sweet, sweet Shuri, everyone's favorite super science girl. And it's like, no, and you know that's not true.
Everybody's favorite Marvel princess.
Literally.
I guess she's not the queen. We can't call her the queen. Not until she marries M'Baku.
Oh, God.
Which is the other one, man. I was waiting for those vibes, man. I don't know. He's trying to be the nice, you know, uncle, big brother guy, but...
Oh, no. We're going to get an arranged marriage with Namor, you know, just to keep peace between the two, you know, Wakanda.
They won't go that route. Okay. That's too touchy of a subject.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, who knows what they'll do, but it is rough.
This is a crazy ending to Phase 4, though, guys. You realize this is, like, literally the end of Phase 4?
Oh, okay. So what? So Ant-Man's coming in February. That's the beginning of Phase 5 then?
I guess.
I mean, it makes
That's
sense.
an interesting way to start Phase 5 is all I'll say.
I mean, that's the Kang phase, you know.
Yeah.
That's all working up to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars or whatever, yeah.
Although, again, this is the first time we have someone actively call themselves a mutant, you know?
Yeah. Damn dirty mutie.
Keep hitting us with mutant references.
Yeah. I mean, that's the idea, is he is a mutant. He is...
The first mutant!
The first mutant. Well, not the
That's how they were billing him for a while, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yes. Except they'd already, by the time they started calling him Marvel's first mutant, they'd already introduced Apocalypse, so...
Yeah. I mean, Lilith, it's the same thing as Warren Worthington. He grew wings, he just grew tiny ones on his ankles.
He was just drinking Red Bull. Give me a break.
I did like how they had did the video work on that, where they're like hummingbird wings, and so he has that hummingbird 360 movement, you know, where it's like he's walking on air, you know. That I thought was neat, and I like that there's actually a real sound to it, like a real hummingbird wing sound, which I thought was really cool. But his movements were really, really awesome and really breathtaking as they move. Although I do gotta, you know, when Shuri visits and they give her this suit, that wasn't Atlantean technology. That was one of the two people's suits that they killed at the start of the film.
Yeah. Guess they cleaned it out or whatever.
I know, we got all the blood off, so... But it seemed to keep the other air breathers alive, so this should work, we hope.
Yeah, the one woman... I forget...
It's not like they have advanced technology.
Yeah, the one woman who died, is it the one who died in the helicopter? I was like, she looks familiar. That's Lake Bell, Poison Ivy on the Harley Quinn animated series.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so good for her.
Another one walking two worlds.
Marvel film. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was a Skrull the whole time.
Yeah. I was going to say, what did everyone think of how they handled the whole Chadwick Boseman thing and the, you know...
Blame Killmonger, absolutely. If it wasn't for you!
They would have had those herbs, man.
I love it.
And they jumped right into that. I mean, I saw people online saying, oh, why couldn't they give him a more heroic death? It's like, come on!
Be freaking for real. I know, right?
I mean...
Like, did you want us to, did you want to do the Paul Walker thing?
Yeah.
Like, I would have been so mad if they did that, actually.
The guy was gone.
They were talking about it. You know that, right? And everybody
Probably.
had such a visceral reaction to that.
Yeah. No.
Rightly so.
You couldn't do that.
No.
Like,
I mean,
Ryan Coogler for everything, though. He wrote this movie. He directed this movie. I was like, "Where's your cameo, babes? Might as well get in on that too."
You know, what I'll say is, yeah, you could have maybe gotten away with like a few lines, or like what they did with, you know, what they did to work out an ending, for either, what they did in Star Wars. They did some stuff with that with Leia, and they did some stuff with that. And of course, they did it with Grand Moff Tarkin, where you could do a small thing with it, but yeah, you could not do anything more than that. And at a certain point, when you're doing such a small part of it, there's not really a reason to do it.
Yeah, no, I think it was best.
I think that was a good idea. I think it was as respectful as they could be.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that was the best way all around.
Yeah. Although I did like the start of it, where we do get that she's trying to solve the problem. So you do get this emotional connection for it, you know, and the idea that, you know, and it is interesting because it's like that. Honestly, I felt they probably had a lot of issues with how much do we want to parallel the real world with him not telling people until, you know, and then it being too late for anyone to do anything, you know. And of course, Chadwick Boseman was getting full treatments. It's just unfortunate that, you know, unfortunately sometimes medicine doesn't work. You know, science fails.
Well, it was interesting. They gave Shuri like that Christopher Reeve Superman from the first Superman. She's like, you know, what good are these abilities? You know, that I couldn't save them.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's a valid question.
And she can't even turn the Earth around, so you know.
Exactly.
Can't even go back in time.
I think Cher has that copyrighted. So.
So the whole thing with like the funeral, because then they did it, spoilers, with Queen Ramonda later on, where like, you know, the ship like picks up like the coffin and stuff. Or are they taking them to bury them? Or are they putting them in the ocean? What did they ever explain?
No, they're putting them in the necropolis. I mean, if I'm based on what I would imagine from the comic books,
yeah,
they're putting them in the necropolis, and like no living beings allowed to go into the necropolis because that is only the city for the dead.
Yeah.
So what they did before they had tractor beams, I guess they just like threw them in with heave
slide.
You know, just they had a little slide and just moved in. You know. They built up the whole thing, and which is like just great planning on their part. We're just going to build all the mounds of everything will be in here, and then no living being will go in there. Or they just like you would go in there, and then you would, have to sacrifice yourself, just like they did back with Egypt. Yeah, put all the architects in there. What now? Oh, remind me to draw an escape hatch in my pyramid.
But I mean, I thought they did a damn good job on this movie, considering you had to like basically rebuild the brand because your main guy is gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they handled it well.
But that was kind of always the beauty of that first one, where it could literally go everywhere where they opened up, where the tribes are challenging and stuff.
Yeah.
So I always felt like maybe he did tell Ryan a little bit and go, "Hey, might want to set that up," because they were very close. So. I don't know. It was very interesting with all the tribal stuff. So I feel like I would love to explore that world even more, and I'm glad that they kind of gave us what they gave us in this one. If we couldn't have Chadwick, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like I said, I mean, I love how much of an arc M'Baku has gotten in this, and you compare, and that's the thing is like that character, the Man Ape, who is somewhat ridiculous. We can all agree. In classic Marvel comics.
Oh, the old comics, yeah.
Yeah, I love... But honestly, I always had fallen in love with him. I loved him ever since I first saw him in the big white gorilla outfit in the official handbook to the Marvel Universe. Yeah, that is a big guy, and I am here for whatever vengeance plan he has. But I love how they evolved him to this rival. And I can see, because you can see how everything they do with him in this has been, everyone underestimates the gorilla tribe because we live in the mountains, We're not in your lush, verdant veldt of, the grasslands. We live up here in the harsh world, and we are strong and tough because of it.
And just because they're in the mountains doesn't mean they don't have books.
I know, man. They are. Well, they have the internet even in Kamertage, so but yeah. So they are like they built them as the Spartans of the Wakandan tribes. That they are just they live to fight. They fight to live. Even though, again, how often they're asked to fight, that's debatable, unless they have a lot of internecine squabbles, as is suggested with the possibility of Lemurians, if we're ever going to actually see those guys, which would be interesting. Is to actually find out that there's actually like 6 kingdoms down here. No, we all got vibranium. What do you want, man? We're here. We got vibranium price to move. Okay. Because again, vibranium could be a limiting resource where if you figure out another way to do it, it's not as useful anymore.
Yeah. Oh, you know who we didn't talk about yet? Riri Williams.
Oh, Riri is fun.
That's what you get. That's what you get. The government's gonna steal your stuff. It's literally like Wakanda's worst nightmare. Literally, they're like, "See, this is what we're talking about." They're definitely kicking them. So we should have stayed.
First off, the government wasn't trying to steal Wakanda stuff. They were just looking for vibranium elsewhere on the planet. Because it seems to reason that there might be, as they said, well, there could have been more than one meteor. And really, if it's space stuff hits the planet all the time, there's probably vibranium all over the place. We just don't know where to look for it. Because it's not in one big mound in the middle of our country. So the fact of the matter is, there probably are veins of vibranium everywhere. If nothing else, we know that there's one in Antarctica. We just haven't gotten there yet because the X-Men are running it,
I love Everett Ross. I love Everett Ross telling them, he's like, Princess Shuri, and they were here to recruit Riri Williams, and then you almost go and arrest one of the royal family of Wakanda. That's not a good look.
Well, it's a great save on his part. Which is why I can see why Val likes him, even though Val knows she's playing him the whole time. And that's the real thing to know about this. Val knows about the Atlanteans the entire time. Because we know when they're calling in the strike team, they are saying, it's not the Wakandans, they're blue. Which immediately makes Val go, oh, is this a Kree invasion? Because we know about Blue Kree. We got lists of people who are blue. Is this aliens or what is this yet? We know it's someone who doesn't want us to get this vibranium, and it's not the Wakandans. So let's see how we play it. And I love when the Secretary of State was like, well, we think we should destabilize them, Which, to be fair, okay. And also makes me wonder if there are other parties, because that is, again, something that Ross says in this. Is it someone who we're watching or someone we don't know about yet? And that, I think, again, sets up so much of the next phase. It's like, we know there are people there are knowns, and there are known unknowns, and there are unknown unknowns. Is Talokan an unknown unknown?
Who's going to be popping up their head looking for vibranium eventually, our favorite college dropout. It's going to happen.
Exactly.
Whatever phase it is, it's going to happen.
It assumes there's not vibranium in Wundagore, which is just over in Transylvania. A hop, skip, and a jump from Latveria. Not to mention all the vibranium that got just littered all over freaking Sokovia recently.
He's got to melt down some Ultron shells, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of them. That's the point, is that, there is...
Or to damage control, clean those up.
Yeah, but that's the thing between and again, when Shuri is looking at the stuff, she says, "Oh, is this Stark tech?" Which means already, yeah, everyone knows this stuff. They know outside of Wakanda, tech has been progressing. There's lots of geniuses out there, not just Tony Stark. Tony Stark might be the best, but then you also have a Hank Pym who was doing stuff way beyond Howard and Tony ever could imagine. He just was, fortunately, enough of a madman to keep it to himself, just like the Wakandans and the Talokanians. But, the fact of the matter is, if it comes down to a fight, Ant-Man's a patriot, man. We can do a vibranium heist.
I don't know. I saw the trailer. Ant-Man's going to have his hands full.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, this is a nice Kang. This is going to be...
Oh, sure.
I'm actually the Kang that went back and joined the Young Avengers. At least I will in the future, but it's actually my past. And I just wound up here during the Great Multiversal War. Wah, wah. It's going to be something silly.
Nah, everybody that goes up against it's the Kang phase. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's going to be like, call somebody else to do it. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I just want a Ramatut, man.
He likes his villains in loincloths.
I want to see. Who's the actor who's playing Kang? I want to see him in the green headdress.
Oh, Jonathan Majors.
And the loincloth, and just I am Ramatut. Worship me, because man, it's the craziness of the villains that's the most fun. In fact, I'm going to say this right now: Ant-Man, Quantumania starts in ancient Egypt. Mark my words, it starts in ancient Egypt. You just have this scene of, Ramatut at the start of the first multiversal war, and, you're going to just see him there. It's going to be like, all this darkness and the clouds arise, and then you see Goliath come and eat him or something like that. And then it's going to flash up to Scott Lang, who I think because it went back by so fast. I think there was like a reference to his book "Watch Out for the Little Guy" coming out on Anderson Cooper's feed. So good for Anderson Cooper getting that Marvel money.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Thank you, Spider-Man. Because people still know who Spider-Man is.
Oh yeah, they know who Spider-Man is. They just don't know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, but the implication of that means that MJ and Ned both know they know Spider-Man, but also know they don't know who he is. And also know that he said he would come and meet them, but never showed.
I don't know. It depends how much of that. But yeah, that's what's going to create our Hobgoblin.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Well, and they say they have signed Spider-Man 4, so.
Well, Tom Holland signed Spider-Man 4. I don't think they said anything about those other two.
Well, what's the actor that Ned's got going? Zendaya, she's a wild.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Busy.
Yeah, Zendaya's.
Busy, but the other guy, yeah, no, he's signing up. I heard he was working out too. So.
Oh, yeah, for the Hobgoblin, man.
No, he's got the new vampire flick out. Nerdy Vampires or Us or something. I don't know. But
plus, you need something to hang on to a Goblin glider. Come on, Will.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's
all you need is balance and a magnetic boots. Be for real. Yeah. It is a good core workout, though.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great film.
I know. I mean,
it opens up so much, and
I'm curious about Ironheart, the Disney Plus series now, though. I'm just like, she didn't win me over quite, so I'm just like, I don't know. We'll have to see how it is in her actual own show.
Yeah, I think it'll work. She's
I
gonna drop
liked her,
out.
If Beale Street Could Talk. And it's another movie I saw her and she was good, but like Marvel's a whole different beast when it comes to like TV and movie making, so we'll just have to see.
I just think, I mean, even though this was a longer movie, I mean, I don't think there was enough time to fully go into Riri Williams because, we're dealing with, the whole the whole Chadwick thing. We're shuffling everything around. We're introducing Namor and Talokan.
And they still gave her a lot of arc.
Yeah.
And I totally know that even though they didn't let her keep her armor, she absolutely boosted stuff. And if nothing else, she's got like a photographic memory.
She could build another one.
No, I mean, honestly, it's like, this is always the problem with this stuff. It's like, oh, you're going to take the design I took? Oh, no. How will I ever rebuild the thing I just built in my head yet? Because, not for nothing, and I got to say this right now, we have not seen the last of Trevor Noah in the MCU. That's the voice of the AI.
Oh, okay.
Yes. My big prediction, this is a big prediction, he will be Machine Man.
Well, Jarvis became the Vision, so.
Exactly. He's going to want a body. And here's the thing, I would absolutely bet that freaking Riri cloned him. It's like, wait a minute. Am I not me from there, or am I me from here? It's like, you're an AI, and I cloned your program. Now you're my AI.
I mean, I was just waiting for...
This makes me question my entire existence.
I was just waiting for Shuri to say something like she added some extras to that car of hers she rebuilt, her dad's car, so...
No, because she was quite adamant it was still the same car.
Yeah.
Which it clearly is not, because they would have had to completely trash the engine. That went into salt water, man. You're not rebuilding that engine. We put in a completely new engine. It's all new seats, all new leather.
That's what I'm saying. You had to replace stuff. Yeah,
it's basically the ship of Theseus now. But like we salvaged some parts of it. And this is the parts we salvaged. It's because it's not like Riri went. It's not like Shuri went in there. It's like, gotta find all the parts. Like no, she like. Told someone to go send the drones in, find all the pieces that look like whatever Mustang that 440 Mustang was, and bring it up. I think it was a Shelby Mustang, but I forget what year that was. I want to say it was a 65, might be a 68. I don't know.
So close.
What was it, Phil?
I don't know. I don't know. You said 68. I was like, so close.
Yeah, I mean it's something. I know it's a 60s model. I'm pretty sure it's a Shelby Mustang because those were the fancy ones, and And it actually doesn't fit in the timeline because that's an old car by the time her dad would have been working on it.
More than likely, it was a 65. More than likely.
Yeah.
That's like the best year for a Shelby.
It was back when cars looked cool. So.
When they were metal! Damn it!
Metal cars, yeah. So, it's probably the frame.
Kill somebody else and be just fine.
Oh. They killed a lot of people. The Atlanteans have killed lots and lots of people.
I know.
And, not cool, man. Because, like, even when Riri
did what they had to do. Don't judge them.
I will judge them. They are making very poor long-term political decisions in an interconnected world. Their whole decision to attack the surface world, and not for nothing, it was clearly not a thing they had thought out, because they didn't. When they do pick a country to pick, they're going to think, well, who's the biggest country we can fight? Who will actually be a possible match for
Who has
us?
the most advanced weapons?
Sometimes you just gotta knock the bully out your first day,
Prison law. They want to knock out the biggest guy. Okay.
To be really, just get all political here. They could, just conquered all of South America to start. So, well, no, we're actually the native inhabitants of South America. Let's just take the Yucatan Peninsula back,
Well,
we take the seats of Mayan power, and
the cartels are not having it. Sorry, bud. Sorry.
Well, yeah, and that is why they didn't, because they were really horribly outmatched against a bunch of people who have a vested interest in not giving up their land and who have advanced technology.
Well, Lilith has a point, too. You take out the Wakandans, it's like, oh, hey, everyone else, the rest of the planet's going to think twice before coming at you, because you're like, yeah, we defeated the most technologically advanced nation on the planet, plus now we have their stuff, so...
Yeah, but you have that basic problem of if you take out the Wakandans.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, they didn't, and they probably couldn't.
Well, Namor couldn't take Shuri, but I don't know. The Atlantean army looked like it might have defeated the Wakandan army. I don't know.
Well, no, they defeated one ship.
Yeah.
In their navy with, a group of warriors. And again, remember, Wakandans aren't superhuman. All of the Talakanians are superhuman. They all have superhuman strength, superhuman...
Exactly.
Well, endurance, whatever. And the Dora Milaje are still cutting through them like knives through butter.
Discipline, baby. Discipline.
The Midnight Angels! The Midnight Angels!
Shout out to Michaela Cole. Great addition. Yeah. Love her. Go watch Chewing Gum. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I did like that. Everyone got to be happy that Okoye and her got to have their little home together and be lovers by the end, so that's good.
I'm just saying the name Toussaint is just giving Kim Kardashian. I'm just going to put that out there.
Whoa.
Toussaint means all saints. That's why I said that.
Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Kim Kardashian has a kid named Toussaint or is going to have another kid named.
No, she has a kid named Saint.
Oh, okay. Well, that's yeah. Anyway, it is what it is.
He's gonna dress like an Atlantean next year.
I like that he's T'Challa, Prince T'Challa, and the interesting when we have the conversation is that make him T'Challa Jr. or
T'Challa the second.
Well, see, that's the thing. He's not T'Challa the second. Well, he's the second Prince T'Challa in the idea that now they can retroactively call King T'Challa Prince T'Challa the first, but he would actually be referred to as King T'Challa, and he would be King T'Challa until Prince T'Challa becomes King T'Challa, then would be King T'Challa the second, and retroactively, King T'Challa would be King T'Challa the first. Because he was asking if he would be a junior and said, no, with royalty, they wouldn't be juniors. They would be just the name. So, but yeah, I'm excited for King T'Challa the second rising to the throne, because I do think that is a story that could be, and again, could recast M'Baku as the villain, because he will have been king of Wakanda.
I don't need another War of Roses. Listen, I dealt with Game of Thrones for 8 years, and I'm potentially looking at another 7 for House of Dragons. I don't need another War of the Roses.
Okay, I'm just saying. They made the choice to not raise young Prince T'Challa. Here's my biggest question. Is Prince T'Challa going to be a mutant?
Ooh.
Because he was conceived
after his father took the
blip. No, at the time of the blip.
Wait, what?
Because they mentioned the 5 years.
Yeah.
And how she disappeared for 5 years. And that kid ain't 5. That kid looks like, 8 or 9 or 10.
Wait, did she disappear? I mean, we know T'Challa disappeared, but did she disappear?
No, they said...
I thought they said she just left Wakanda.
Yeah, she left. That's what they meant.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that meant she just moved. She moved out of there.
She moved out of there because she was pregnant with the king's child.
Yeah.
And that means that child was born at the time that first CBR, or that child was conceived during that first cosmic background radiation.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought maybe he would just be a mutant because his father had already taken the herb and the vibranium when he, by the time he,
yeah, that too, probably.
Yeah.
But she, the mom has been growing up in Wakanda full of, not for vibraniums and everything over there.
I mean, that's what happened to the Talocons.
It's like microplastics.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just going to find out that actually is probably what killed T'Challa.
He literally ingested it. I mean, he mainlined it, so...
Actually, vibranium's horrible for you.
I know about the mother, but that was in his system.
Did you ever notice that everyone who gets, all these weird superpowers, every so often they're cool, but a lot of times they get really crazy, man. So, no, I do think Prince T'Challa II will be a mutant, maybe even with electricity powers.
Now look, anything but electricity powers.
Well, because when they had in the future Avengers storyline,
oh god, yes,
where you actually have the son of Storm and T'Challa, he can conjure a lightning panther. He makes lightning constructs. He's like a lightning path, so like Pyro, but he generates lightning and makes it into monsters to beat you up.
I mean, if nothing else, I could see him just being born with enhanced reflexes, strength, speed, all basically born with super soldier serum in his blood. Yeah,
oh, that's cool too.
Because then he has to marry Storm.
Well, and again, he could. I mean, I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm saying I'm for it.
Who knows? Maybe Deadpool will explain this all to us.
Either way, that's going to be a really cool storyline to explore. They're obviously they're going to work on a third film, and it comes out when it comes out because we have a million moving parts in the MCU. But
yeah, because I mean, when they put out the news timeline, wasn't it through either 2024 or 2025?
2026.
So, oh,
I thought I saw 2026.
That's what I'm saying. That kid's going to be a few years shy of 18 by the time the next Black Panther movie comes out. So.
Oh yeah, and then he'll be the young. That's what I'm saying. He'll be the young Panther on the block. I mean, maybe not that actor because
Yeah. But I mean,
we have to see how. But you never know. Some child actors grow into the role. He could have that growth spurt, put on the muscle, and actually now I'm a big kid. I don't know. It happens, man.
Unlike poor Cassie Lang.
Yeah, why would they do that?
But like I said, it's the culmination of Phases 4's theme of legacy characters and passing on the mantle and stuff. And I thought that was just really amazing way to end Phase 4 conceptually,
Exactly.
Gonna get our young Avengers.
Any final
I do think that the original Black Panther soundtrack was better than this one.
Yeah, the first one was bad. I mean, this one wasn't bad, but yeah, the first one was better. Yeah, soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that Rihanna song from the first one is iconic at this point.
okay. Let's say she had one on this one, but
because I didn't really care for the new song.
Well, I think.
Did anybody cry in your theater? By the way, I saw a few people crying.
I mean, I cry all the time, but yeah. I mean, I cried many times throughout this film. I don't always take me crying as a sign that other people are crying.
I did have a mirrorless Hellfire. I didn't see anyone crying.
No, I'm sure many people were, because it was, especially,
I heard the sniffles. I mean,
I heard a lot. I mean, the first time I saw it, it was at an early show. It was a matinee, and it was a lot of. We did get a lot of applause, but it was a much smaller crowd. This time it was packed, and people were really, really into it. So
I went on. Mine was packed. Super packed.
Oh, I mean, we went to the first showing. There was a 10 a.m.
Everybody wore white. It was really
there was a 10 a.m. show, and usually, those early ones, there's not a lot of people. There was a good sized crowd there for the first showing on a Saturday morning. So it's been a while since I've seen that. Probably since Endgame.
Yeah, it's a solid B+ for me.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm going A+ on this because, quite frankly, I mean, I would put honestly, no.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah,
Shuri's arc is so powerful. Just the navigation between power and vengeance, and also the fact that there's also this spiritual journey in that she really doesn't believe in all this astral plane malarkey.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a scientist, damn it.
Yeah, and then when she does have her ayahuasca trip, it's her freaking cousin just reflecting back all of the things she fears about herself, which is both in keeping with what you would expect on an ayahuasca trip and, not what she wants to see. Like, had everyone come and it had been love and light, which also could be a thing, that would actually be even more suspect if you think about it. It is her complete anger at it that even if the spiritual plane is real, that this is the spiritual plane and this is who I get to see. That I basically get to go to heck with my cousin who's working with Mephisto, confirmed, is unfortunate, and that's good. And then, of course, when she does see her mom in the spiritual plane, in the ancestral plane, and we see it, and she gets that flash of it, and it's like, no, we're real, you know that. Show him who you are. I mean, it's powerful. If it's a Deus Ex Machina, yes. But she'd also just been stabbed by a random spear, which is interesting.
Who knows what that spear was laced with? That's why you got to wrap it up, kids.
Wasn't it? It was probably vibranium, wasn't it?
That was weird. There was a lot of spears on that beach, and it seemed to be vibranium, but she also breaks it, so maybe I guess it was a wooden staff spear. I think it was maybe a display vibranium spear, because that was the royal ship, you know?
I'm thinking it's vibranium because it punctured that Black Panther suit, but then she also has vibranium, so that's why she could break through it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but it looked like wood when she broke it. So
yeah.
The staff was wood, and the
wood
tip was vibranium. And then I think it's actually just a piece of fuselage that she grabs at later when she threatens him. So that might not have even been vibranium, just something that could, cut his already weakened skin. But yeah. Oh, and when she blows up the engines, again, because the Telecanians are not using proper technology. They don't know what to expect. And it's like, no, man, I got you 3 steps ahead of you. Anyway.
But yeah, I guess I got to go with Lilith and a B+, but I don't know what more they could have done to push me to an A. But yeah, I feel it's like in the B+ range.
I thought some of it was just a little repetitive from the previous film. That's all.
Yeah, but it's like what's repetitive and what's like trying to honor Chadwick Boseman. Because I mean, how did you guys feel about the Marvel logo? But it was all Chadwick in those images and stuff.
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, that was
a little pandery, but I get it.
I mean, I get, it's a big budget movie, it's a business and all this, but I'm like, it just seems so weird that it's like a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, but meanwhile they're like spending all kinds of merchandise and stuff out of this, and I'm just like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it feels a little icky, but capitalism always.
I know, but couldn't you say, oh hey, like a portion of the proceeds from all the merchandise go to some charity, his foundation, yeah.
Again, capitalism is icky, but yeah, like I said, it was solid. Just the Namor thing, like it's great representation for people who need it, but I didn't want to have to share a Black Panther film. Like, I'm just gonna be real with you. It feels weird to me to have to. He could have had his own movie. They didn't really need to shove it in Black Panther.
Oh, Namor.
Yeah. Especially that specific Namor. So. Or
you could have. I could have started with Fantastic Four or something. Yeah, but
yeah. I mean, it's precedent in the comics, obviously, but
it
would have been better in a Fantastic Four movie. Obviously.
Yeah, modern comics, it's like, oh yeah, T'Challa and Namor are always like at war or whatever. So,
and it wasn't the arrogance, like that's really sells Namor. And he just
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he wasn't petty enough to be comic book Namor now.
And maybe it comes in time, and I think the actor is fantastic, and I like that they gave people who needed representation that. Like I said, I could have been done without forcing it into Black Panther. That's all. That's why the B+.
Oh, I can't wait.
Namor deserved his own movie.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll get one eventually. Who knows? Took Black Widow how long to get her own movie?
Well, that's the patriarchy. But
yeah.
Anywho, Charlie has left us, so I guess we can go.
All right. Well, I'll do the plugs. Maybe he'll be back by the time we're done. Ha! We outlasted him. All right, kids. Yes.
Harder, stronger, faster.
Hail. Power of the capes. All right. All right, kids. So, yes, next week we will be back with another capes. Well, at least I will be. I know Will and Justin will be here. Perhaps that Fancy Man Ray. Because, next week will be the Jeff Johnson interview. Big artists. Yeah, you know, such works as the 90s Wonder Man, Green Lantern, all kinds of stuff. So, yes, you have questions for Jeff Johnson, or hey, send us your Black Panther Wakanda Forever thoughts. We'll read them again at a future date. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Find links to all the various social medias for all of our shows. Find the link to the YouTube channel. Everything we do, this episode, the interviews, everything gets a video on YouTube. So smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a moment of any of it.
Smash it!
And, of course, the Patreon. Once again, this is our labor of love. We're paying for this out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps. But $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And superhero movie brackets are almost over, so subscribe.
The series finale, because Phil ain't doing this again.
Oh, please. You said you were sick of it, too. All right, superhero movie brackets. So, yes, subscribe now. Hurry up and catch up before our series finale. And then Lilith has decreed that if you are a patron in 2023, you get to vote on what we talk about on Patreon. So, go get your voter ID card. Get ready. So,
vote early and vote often.
That's right. All right. And pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Right, as Charlie has said. So, find the merch. And if you just want to rain random money on us, the Lilith's favorite, there is a Cash App link in the show notes. And always remember, Christmas is coming. Lilith Hellfire's birthday is coming. So, yeah, just rain random money on us.
Make it rain.
So find everything at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right, Lilith Hellfire. Again, if anyone wants to send you any packages for your birthday, where can they do that?
First of all, you have to be gentle with the package. But as you guys know, because of the current, hellscape that is social media, I am only currently on TikTok at the moment. You can find me on TikTok at Lilith Hellfire 69, making all the comments and maybe some content. I don't know. You're gonna have to come find out and follow for yourself. No spoilers.
Either do the 6 or do the 9. Oh, you don't want to know the things I've done. Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business.
Charlie Esser.
Well, you can always write to me in the old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And follow me on a platform that I'm not on very much, but I would like to get back to, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
Thank you, Maz.
You realize that if Twitter folds, I have to have an entire new ending.
What?
If Twitter folds,
Oh.
I gotta
You
figure
can
out.
just do it for Reddit.
Follow me on Facebook.
Yes, well, that's it. Well, that's at Chaz Esser. Well, that's Chaz Esser at my personal email.
Or just email you personally, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't want that white boy just coming into my inbox.
Ooh.
Hey-oh. Relatable.
All right, kids, for another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics. Okay, heroes and quotes.
Oh my god, that should have been our fun. That should have been our last thing you said, Lil Hellfire. All right, Jeff Johnson interview next week, kids. Wakanda Forever.
Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.